All right, so here's our basic haircut, right? We have our sections, our clean sections taken out. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. Our 1-inch section at the bottom where we're gonna create our guideline. We make sure our client's head is even. Now I'm gonna decide how much. I'm gonna take about an inch. I'm gonna say 2 inches off this mannequin, okay? So if you look, for those of you that don't know this, on most hair cutting combs, there is a ruler. And you can look at this ruler can you see that 1, 2, to get an estimation of inches until you become really good at knowing how many inches you need to cut. So if you're not sure visually, you take your comb and you can kind of eyeball it and measure it with the comb itself. So I said I'm gonna take about 2 inches, so I'm gonna hold my body perpendicular to the client, okay? It's really important to keep your body in the right position. Now we are cutting palm to palm, okay? Do you see how I'm holding this? And I'm gonna be cutting, palm to palm means it looks like you're clapping when you're actually cutting the hair. So keep this in mind for step forward. So now I'm gonna take my guideline, pull down my 2 inches, okay? And I'm gonna start cutting short, and don't go past that knuckle. Then I'm gonna physically move my body over, take the next section, being mindful, very mindful not to drag the hair this way, and mindful not to drag the hair that way. Because by directing it either one way or another, you're gonna create shortness and length where you don't want it. So here I go, I'm cutting, I am moving my body mechanics to move smoothly with the haircut. Always keeping my body directly behind the client as I create my guideline. Cutting palm to palm. My thumb is what's moving the scissor. Do you guys see that? Okay, any questions? You can put them right in the chat and we will discuss this after the demo, okay? Come up, take another 1-inch section straight across while palming my shear. Do you see me putting down the shear while I'm doing this? No. I'm palming my shear, which keeps the shear closed and in my hand and safe so my client does not get cut or injured while I am sectioning out their hair, correct? It's a matter of making sure that your client's safe, you're safe, and that you're following the proper procedure. So palming the shears is holding your shear in your hand and you're moving your comb from side to side. Now, we're gonna continue. Our guideline now is underneath here. Can you guys see that? Can you see the shadow of where the guideline is, of where I cut before? I'm simply gonna meet that guideline, same thing, holding the hair straight down, palm to palm, and I'm gonna start clipping across, and I'm gonna make that hair meet the hairline that I created prior. Being mindful of my body mechanics, making sure I am standing straight behind the client, I am moving and not dragging my hands from side to side. Okay? Pull this straight down again. Once again, assess. You see where the guideline is? We're gonna meet that hair right at the guideline. Remember, you control the hair, guys. The hair doesn't control you. It's so important. And if you feel like you're losing, you know, kind of your vibe, or you're not sure, step back and look again and reevaluate what you're doing. Okay, now we got our second, we cut, it's all even. We're gonna take our next section down. Make sure you keep your sections clean. Palming the shear. I'm coming across and I'm pulling the hair down, taking another 1-inch section. I'm gonna turn this around. Could you guys see that good? Palming my shear. Moving the hand, my comb from side to side. All right, keeping my sections nice and clean. Now I'm gonna do the same thing. Stand behind my client, be mindful of my body mechanics, right? Pull this hair down, make sure your client's head is nice and straight. And once again, I am gonna cut and meet, can you guys see that? Where the guideline is. So straight down, we're doing a basic haircut here. Palm to palm, hand down, move your thumb, not the rest of your hand. Now move your body as you go across to trim this hair. Every time you cut a section, you should be checking and evaluating where you are. Checking and evaluating that your haircut is coming out proper, that your body mechanics are proper. This little piece of hair belongs in here. We'll move her over. This client really needed a haircut. Her hair was fried. Okay, so we can check our haircut by pulling both sides down and making sure that they're even, okay? So we're gonna continue this all the way up the head. You see we're pulling the hair down once again, and the guideline will always be there for you. Once you create that guideline, that is where you're gonna cut the hair and meet the guide. You see why you create that guideline, the first piece you do? Now it is your guideline for the rest of your haircut to be even and aligned correctly. Okay, pull down, make sure everything is even, move your body, not the angles at which you're holding the hair. So you move across the client as you're cutting, okay? And we're gonna do this all the way till we get up to the occipital bone, the top of the head. Continue to pull those 1-inch sections down. Keep your parting super clean, super organized, and that will help you create a wonderful haircut for your client where they'll be happy to come back to you over and over again. All right, now we're gonna check this, palm to palm, clean those edges. Pull this down, palm to palm, clean those edges. Alrighty, follow this all the way through. Remember guys, be mindful, don't drag your hands back, don't drag your hands forward. Make sure you keep your body directly behind the area you're cutting and hold that section straight down while you're doing this work, okay? We're coming down to the wire of the top of the head. All right, once again, keep your sections and your partings super, super clean. Can you guys see that really well? Any questions, put them in the chat and we will follow through after the haircut demo. I'll answer any of your questions that you have, okay? Once again, palm to palm, clean. Make sure everything's lining up. Palm to palm. Alrighty, move my body this way. Palm to palm, Make sure I have my scissor palmed and safe while I am combing the client's hair, right? Alrighty. Now we're coming down to our last section. Last section. Make sure we get that nice and combed out. We have her nice and even. And we're gonna pull all this hair down. Okay. So now the back of our client's hair is cut. It's beautiful, nice and even. You guys like that color in there? We did some fun colors in here the other day. All right. Now I'm gonna move to the side of my client's hair. So I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna take my 1-inch parting directly across and have it meet with the back so I can create what? My guideline. Perfect, correct, you got that. All right. Pull this hair up. Now same thing, we'll make sure our client's straight. All right. If you pull this down, comb this hair down straight, you can see, you see the guideline? Do you guys see that? Okay. That is going to be our guideline to match the back of the hair to the front of the hair. Now I'm standing directly in front of my client. I'm not sitting in front of her to the side of her, palm to palm, and I'm cutting. Palm to palm and cut. And this is the process we're gonna follow all the way down this side of the head, and then we're gonna follow that back on the other side, okay? So I want you guys to walk through this process, and I want you to take a picture or video of your completed project, little video snippets, and send them over to me. Here's sending you lots of good energy, and you're gonna do great, okay? So step by step.